Masuk. Masuk. Kau masuk. Kau masuk.
Evil.
Hello everyone. Welcome. I'm Iki Ali.
I'm Sai Ali.
And we are brothers Ali. And today we're gonna review
Polis Evo 3.
Ramai bora-bora lampu, rohaninya trauma misi. Ramai kejar bayang ampu, sedangkan ada setiap sisi.
We would like to thank Astro Shaw for sponsoring the ticket and BuzzPop TV for giving us this opportunity, for inviting us. Thank you.
Alright. So yeah, this is like the third movie in, I guess, the Polis Evo series of movies. So that's the first one, directed by guys Abu Bakar. The second one is directed by, I don't know, there's a pair of directors, and one of them is Joel So, the one of the writers for the overall series. And then there's the third one directed by Shafiq Yusuf, which is this one. And yeah, this is like, wow, I can't believe Shafiq can pull this off. I mean, he directed another person's script and he's showing restraint. It's like restraint is like the theme going on in this year, right? Like first there's James Gunn with his restraint in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and then this Shafiq Yusuf's restraint.
I mean, like, it
Yeah.
is common practice, and even the audience are kind of like assuming that something is coming to a close, or at least maybe leave left like softly open for people to continue on. But the trilogy is like always like a nice place to close it all, to close all this story. So like, you have to somehow find a way to conclude everything and not make it messy. And you mentioned the word writer before.
Yeah.
And yeah, this movie, they're not playing around. This movie, they have 5 writers.
They always been have more than one writer, and this one have 5. This is the most, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is it reminds me of something like X-Men Days of Future Past. If you don't know, it's the only X-Men that have Bryan Singer's name in it that I genuinely enjoy. Like I don't have any problem with it, and because it's not a Bryan Singer movie. I'm a big X-Men Bryan Singer hater. Uh, I watch every single one of them. I think he just doesn't know how to make X-Men fun until Days of Future Past, and that's because it's not just him. There are a bunch of writers coming together to make something great.
Yeah.
And it shows in that movie, and in this movie, these writers make Resident Evil 3 really good.
Yeah. And I mean, yeah, even though this is like maturity on Shafiq Yusuf's side, but on the intro sequence, we still feel that, amateurish-ish Shafiq Yusuf eagering to like be trigger happy with his like introduction. It's a fun one, and I think it's already in Astro Shaw's website, like the first 21 minutes of the movie as the premiere, so you can check that out. So yeah, and then in there, yeah, you'll see everything. It's there if you want to say, but I guess we can say a little bit about it. So there's like the opening was like the duo played by Shaheizy Sam, Inspector Khai, and Inspector Sani played by Zizan Razak. So they're like undercover, I guess, in a like drug ring or some sort.
Yeah.
And they try to like, bust the whole thing open. And then so, in the traditional buddy cop kind of like trope or something, there's like good cop, bad cop. So Shaheizy Sam is the bad cop, and which is Inspector Khai, Inspector Sani played by Zizan Razak is the good cop. So they're trying to play off with each other, trying to like make sense of what's going on around them.
And kind of confuse the enemy in a way.
Yeah, and the opening is very fun. I mean, even though it has some amateurish shots, I agree with someone that I heard from our screening. So yeah, there's some interesting here and there, but still an enjoyable, introduction, a refresher to like remind us who these people are all about. The to-dos.
I mean, like even thematically, the scene doesn't really work all that much for the movie.
Yeah.
It feels like because they're already using that as a promo, so it kind of shows that, you know, like a band making a song, you know, for as a single for an album. Usually the case, the single is really, really good, you know, and then you buy the album, most of the songs are kind of mediocre. But when it comes to the single, is like good, which is why it get picked in the first place. Usually maybe by the publicist or something.
Yeah.
Usually it's not up to the band. So to me it feels like that. Like the intro is kind of comedic in nature for the most part, and I think it doesn't really fit with the tone of the rest of the movie. It just have like, I think it's just like a palate cleanser, more for people who, you know, they forgot the dynamic of these two characters.
Which I
And
kind of did actually. I forgot how they were like,
yeah,
because
so
those, yeah.
they kind of want to remind people of that. But yeah, to me, a good intro of a movie usually will set the tone for the rest of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So this one is kind of like
Yeah,
a
it feels disjointed. It doesn't feel like it's
yeah,
the same movie.
yeah. But yeah, and despite that, it's a very fun intro,
Yeah.
and like the movies, like the actual movie is way greater.
Yeah.
Like compared to like the intro may make you feel like, oh no, is this one of those trying too hard to be funny movie? No, it's not.
No, it's not. Maybe on the intro, but not the rest of the movie. The rest of the movie is, I'm surprised how Shafiq can handle something serious, because he has like some botched attempts at being serious in his previous movies. Like, I think KS Special Force was kind of botched in a way. They tried to be serious because some of the things that happen on, like, on the crowd side or whatever, it looks really dumb. Like, you know that scene, right? Where the guy just
Oh, the jump for the bullet. Oh my god.
I mean, the
So dumb.
the shot before that, which is like Roshabno was like brooding, and then every sound was muted, and then on it will focuses on him. That's cool stuff. But then there's that scene, like, okay.
And then there's like a camera panning towards him like multiple times.
And this one, yeah, the camera, you know, like I said, the theme is restrained. Uh, if I saw
No,
enough,
I think you said it. You said serious. To me, Shafiq Yusof has always been a serious director. Not in a sense that, you know, he's a serious guy. I don't know him personally.
Yeah.
But from the way I look at his work, when I do, because I don't go out to seek his movies, I just happen to watch here and there. And I do know some, like, I feel like Villa Nabila or something like that. And it looks, from the looks of it, from the trailers I see here and there, he's trying, he's seriously attempting to make a good movie. The problem with Safi Yusof is that where I do think he's a competent director, he wears his inspirations on his sleeve a little bit too much.
yeah,
His
yeah.
father, Samsul Yusof, his brother,
His father is
his
Yusuf
brother
Aslam.
Yusuf Aslam, his
Father.
brother Samsul Yusof, and I don't know what the other directors in Hollywood, but Michael Bay, like, it's like, oh yeah, I learned from them, you know. And then they just like, he just used like a amplified version of their technique, and it is kind of like annoying, and he doesn't show restraint, in the sense that, you know, if you do a little bit too much of one thing, you're gonna ruin like the whole movie. Like, for example, Taika Waititi on the fourth Thor movie. The problem with his approach on that is that, oh, it says it's gonna be funny. The third one, it fixed the entire like trilogy. So when they make the fourth one for the chronology, the problem is when he's trying too hard to make it funny.
Yeah.
Whereas before, it was there to make it funny, to kind of fix the trilogy as a whole, because they were like so boring, so they kind of have to make it. I said this point before on other videos, you know, they have to make it comedy action. So the fourth one, because they got their footing, it should go back to being action comedy. But I guess Taika Waititi just like Man, I'm gonna make it even funnier. And I saw like another work of his, Jojo Rabbit. It was terrible.
Oh God.
Oh God, I hate that movie.
It was trying so
Like,
hard
like,
to be satire.
yeah, it
Yeah.
was trying so hard. He loses so much focus.
Yeah.
Meaning that he's so focused on his own craft because he's acting in there too as
Mm.
Hitler. And then there's like Scarlett Johansson
With a
doing
terrible German accent.
German accent. Oh my God, I haven't heard a more terrible accent work by Scarlett Johansson. Oh my God, man, how can you make her bad? That's
Yeah,
the
God.
question.
That's
When you don't show restraint, like you post your heart out a little bit too much, you lost focus. And in this movie, they have focus.
yeah.
And that includes my enemy, Shaky Cam.
Oh yeah.
Like I said before, again, I am not like a student of film. Not in the sense that I take a formal, class or something. He did.
Yeah, I did.
Mostly for writing. I have no film background. But and so the way I think of shaky cam is like this technique of it. It doesn't matter if you use the artificial shaky cam. That's what they do on the camera. You edit in post, put shake in it, or the cameraman himself shake the camera. To me, all of that is shaky cam. And while handheld can be shaky because you just moving the camera with your hand, like you don't use the stand or whatever. um I don't consider that shaky cam because there's a specific way of movement, but in this movie I think it's intentionally shaky cam, but it is done well.
Yeah.
I again, shaky cam as a whole is not my cup of tea, but the way he record the fight scene, I can actually see what's going on, and the shakiness add to the atmosphere of the thing. And I know Shafiq Yusuf really loves shaky cam.
Yeah.
Just like his brother, he really loves shaky
He
cam.
loves, really loves it. Like, okay, let's talk about that a bit. So, um, Shafiq Yusof in his early days, he's like, of course, he's starting out. So he really adores his brother so much. In like the first Abang Nur Fadil movie, he's trying to emulate the shakiness of KL Gangster because it's a prequel. Initially it was a prequel and then it became its own thing. So yeah, if you see it, it was like I don't know what's going on. I mean, because the camera shakes so much for no discernible reason whatsoever. So and then even he's like more progressively, even though the shaky cams became less and less, he still relies on it kind of. But in the third one, he's like experimenting with like different kind of angles and shots and techniques. So it's like diversifying a bit.
I will go spot tangent. When I think, at least I would think, relying on it is when, okay, there's this one really talented actor, Iko Wise,
Okay.
Iko Wise, from Indonesia. He starred in Red Redemption.
And Merantau and all other things.
Yeah, and he's really talented. He does his own stunts. He knows silat. So um there's this movie, I don't remember. I know Lauren Cohen is in that movie. Like he was supposed to be like a patient at the rescue that is also like kind of a super soldier or something.
Yeah.
And the problem with the movie is the reliance is out of place, where they could have relied on him to do his own thing, but instead, because that is a Hollywood movie, they add the Hollywood flair, they over edit the living hell out of Iko Uwais's work. And if you look at his work in the movies that we mentioned, you will see that he can actually do the thing without without the editing
Editing going in a way.
getting in a way.
Yeah.
So the problem is in Abang Fadil satu, for example, is that Shafiq is relying on it to somehow add value
Wait.
to the scenes,
A little
where it's like there's shaky cam instead of just relying on the actual thing that people care about in a fight scene, the choreography.
This is a little off tangent. Did you know in Japan the home release of Abang Long Fadil 1 is called Kung Fu Mafia?
Yeah, that's a cooler title.
Alright, okay. Go ahead with
I
your
mean
points.
that's like the second movie. Abang Father 2, it improves a lot, and it's mostly just about the, you know, I was attracted because what though you're a fashionista.
Yeah. A fashion designer, I think.
Yeah, fashion designer. Yeah, he actually released his own line of clothing. He stars in it.
And he's quite good.
Yeah, yeah.
Surprisingly.
Surprisingly, he's quite good for the role.
Yeah.
It's not cheesy.
Yeah.
You know, he's cheesy in the right way.
Yeah.
So that didn't really stand out in terms of filmmaking. It's just more like the action and the humor there. But then the third one really shines. When I see no shaky cam at all by Shafiq Yusof, which
Yeah.
is kind of like weird because usually in his DNA. So actually yeah, that's the context actually. After we saw the third one, we realized that we never really saw the first one on cinemas. We
The
never
third,
really
Abel Fadil.
the first one.
Yeah.
After we saw the third one,
Yeah.
we realized that we never really saw the first one.
So then we go back and
We go back. That's why we were able to finish that movie. Otherwise, we because we know that where the movie is heading, we know that
He gets better.
it gets better, right? So that's why we were able to see the movie. Otherwise, I can't watch Abang Fadil 1 because it's very very shaky cam all the time.
Yeah.
And the third one no shaky cam, which is interesting,
And now back
which
to the
I
present.
like. And then now he has shaky cam back. But unlike the previous time he showed restraint, he really knows what he's doing with that technique.
Yes.
And you know what? Even with the techniques that like people don't like, you know, if people can do it right, you know, if the directors and filmmakers can do it right, they should go for it. Like what has become cheesy over the years in the horror scene is the found footage thing. But if you can do it right, you know, like the movie Host, for example, maybe we review that one day. Yeah, it can work. It can still work.
Yes.
If you know how to, you know, stick to the format of it. So yeah, that's the camera. And I like the space. Before I said like there's like a I guess there's comedy, right, in this movie, but it's sprinkled through the movie naturally.
Yeah.
Usually I would say sporadically, because like it feels usually in movies nowadays, they want to do these jokes that's like all the time, and then that's sporadically.
Yeah.
And the jokes is kind of like they written some jokes, so they have to put it in somewhere. But in this one, it kind of feels natural.
Yeah.
And it gives the characters like the space to shine. And the
Yes.
characters, the main focus of this movie in particular is the character Khai. The first one focuses on the two of them because it's the intro to the police info thing. And then in the second one, it focus on Sani, which I don't think he sticks the landing on that one monologue crying scene for me.
Yeah. He tried.
Yeah, he tried.
He's
Yeah.
tried. Yeah.
And then in this third movie, it focuses on Khai. I think it's done really well. And yeah, it's very much so feels like you like we watch Guardians Galaxy 3. If it's a similar theme, a similar style where it focuses on the backstory of one of the characters, and it makes us love this character even more.
Yes.
I appreciate that. And not only the jokes didn't get in their way, that's the support characters. They also didn't get in these people's way.
Oh yeah. So the support characters, it first weirded me out. I mean, the first one that I saw was Shafiq Kal. I mean, he was fine. I mean, I expected him because he's already like been in like other police involved movies, and I guess he can play good cop. And then this one is like it threw me off when I first initially saw the character poster. Douglas Lim, he was like known to be he's a comedian, so he's a stand-up, or I don't know, he's a comedian. I don't know if he's a stand-up. I think he's stand-up. I'm not sure, but yeah, he's to be a super comedy actor. And then I saw the poster with him holding a gun. I'm like, can it doesn't look like. I mean, there's like other great comedic actors Like Bryan Cranston, okay, not Bryan Cranston. Okay, Bob Odenkirk, nobody who expects him to be, an action guy, right? So when I saw Douglas Lim in the tactical police gear, I'm like, it's a cognitive dissonance for bad. And then I actually saw the movie, but he's more like a tech guy. So I'm relieved. And even if he's in the tactical suit, he's just there for like support because he's the one who's like figuring out things that happen in the movie. So yeah, he's a pleasant surprise, and he's another one. Oh my god, I finally get to see her shine. She's like a new recruit. I forgot her name in the movie, but it was played by Farah Ali Khan. I saw her previously in a god awful movie. Two god awful movies actually. But the one that I remember in the most recent one was 712. It was like an action martial arts movie or something regarding like human syndicate, and she has terrible dialogues, but she can do action. I guess apparently she's like a martial artist of some sort, and she's pretty, she's hot, and then she gets to shine a little bit, even though there's not much screen time for her. So like, yeah, I would like to see, more of her. I mean, she can. Oh yeah, she was in the assistant. She was in the assistant with another terrible dialogue. And again, she's a very good martial artist, and she finally gets to act, even though not much, like properly in Polis Ibu 3. I want to see more of her acting. I think she can do great acting if she has the right script.
Yeah.
Yeah, and of course, let's talk about the main duo, Khai and
Before
Sani.
that, there's one more character.
Oh yeah, there's another character.
That's the captain, which I think is
Yeah,
a
the
little
captain.
bit too conveniently like put in that he's related somehow to the villain and Kai, and he's on this case as well, even though like the story is supposed to be, the premise is Kai moved all the way from like KL, I think, if I'm not mistaken. He
Yeah,
goes to Terengganu, Kuala Terengganu, and it's like why does people in the past come back? I mean, it makes sense, like the one of the characters, because like that person is like a terrorist, so terrorist does terror, and he can appear in different places. But I don't know about the captain, it's too convenient is there. And the captain, to me, is kind of like a weak character because I don't know much about him. He didn't do much. He didn't resolve anything, and he doesn't have a redemption arc.
yeah,
Not to spoil anything, but to you know give you like an kind of an expectation, so that when you come in, you don't like focus much on the character, because even the movie itself doesn't care.
yeah. I mean, he's a decent actor, but yeah, they don't know what to do
Yeah,
with him.
yeah, they don't know what to do with him.
Okay, now to the duo. They're solid. They're very solid. I mean, because they've known each
Yeah,
other for three movies.
the chemistry is awesome. It's
It's
been
off the charts.
proven since the first movie. Since the first movie.
And yeah, Shaheizy Sam is a man of action. I mean, like, he's like, I don't know, he's like the closest thing we can have, I guess, to call it loosely a method actor, because he's like, he delivers the part, because his character is written as a wacko mode super cop. Super cop being the operative word, it works because he worked out to have the physique and everything.
Yeah, like the last time we saw him, he does like this for this postal company, Post Laju. Uh, is it Post Laju or Post Malaysia? He does a commercial there. He's really like, he have like guts like us at that point, but then he lose all that weight back.
No. I think I got it by ways, because I think Police Evo 3 was already shot before the ad. So that was
Oh, okay.
after.
Yeah, I don't know,
But
but either way, whether he put on weight or he lose it, he does it remarkably. He looks the part,
yeah.
because even in that ad, I gotta say, it's kind of like welcoming when you see someone like us, promoting something, because it feels like, hey, he's one of us.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like too sexy to intimidate you.
Like,
And we're like,
yeah.
I can't be one of you guys.
Like Fat Thor. You
Yeah,
know,
it's like
I appreciate that.
yeah, Fat Toss, cool. So sometimes when I see Kevin Klein commercials, especially, it's one of the few brands that really knows how to show sexy people all the time.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm intimidated. So when you see Shaheizy Sam there with the guy like
Alright, okay, back
kind of cool.
to his dedication because I mean, like, when the script asks him to do something that I don't think anyone wants to do, he would do it. But he doesn't torture himself from what I can see physically on screen. Maybe in the in the background or in behind the scenes, I don't know what happened there. But I saw him last in, I can't remember what the movie was, but it was a romantic drama. He starred opposite Raja, but I can't remember the movie. I saw it before. I did the review on it when I was with Movie Edit Malaysia, a written review. Maybe I'll put the poster here somewhere, the movie, if I can find it. Um, yeah, I mean, the character demands him to be like, at one point he was so heartbroken with his love, he has to be like scrawny. So he got scrawny for the time that passed. So in this one, when the script demands him, even since the first movie, to be a super cop, but with a wacko things, wacko way of doing things, he delivers. He just like, I wish more actors are like him in Malaysia, right?
Like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's not normal at all here in Malaysia.
Yeah, it's
I
not
mean, it's
normal.
one thing when you bulk up, the main actor in the movie, assistant, he really bulk up more than ever.
Yeah.
And he really, he has a lot more fun in that movie. I don't remember what's his name again.
Haru Azri.
He I like that movie for the fact that he has fun. It's a terror movie, and the fact that he has
But
fun made me enjoy the movie.
yeah,
So I think not only casting, but also when like the actor is willing to do something else. Like usually Disney Channel stuff, they expect these people to also be able to sing. So even if they don't know before, they can add that later on. Like for example, Hilary Duff, like it's a surprising thing to me, at least in the movie where she goes to Italy and then towards the end she sings. Which is not in the usual series. So it's kind of good when actors can do something that something that they have in the portfolio already, or they can add to the arsenal as a commitment to that craft, right?
yes.
So in the Western world where people like Daniel Day-Lewis, and then in the UK, in Europe, we have Kristen Bale, right? So Kristen Bale, the machinist,
Oh
he's
god, the
very
machine is
scrawny,
scrawny as hell.
and then there's like
You know that shot.
yeah,
It's everywhere on the internet.
and then he bulk up for Batman, for Christopher Nolan's Batman, and that's really cool. We don't really have that before in Malaysia all that much. Another actor that I think will go the extra mile in the past that I remember is Q Haida. But when it comes to Shazzy Sam, he really wants to do it in an international level. And I think even the first movie, this one actor is supposed to be like choking him with chains, and Shazzy Sam whisper in his ear during that scene, kata, kuat lagi, buat betul-betul.
Do it harder.
Yeah, and that guy
Do it
really
harder.
does it. And when you see him choking, like,
He's really choking.
yeah, he's really choking. Like I did just now. Method acting is for talented actors, not for
Not for
not for me.
you try to hard. Relax. Okay. So now let's go to Zizan, who played Inspector Sani. Yeah, I mean the second one he tried to act, which is commendable, but
No. For that scene, he tried to
for
act
that
a little
scene in
bit too high
particular,
elevation.
yes, he it's commendable. He's trying to act, but his strength lies with like being in this trilogy in particular a support character for. I mean they're like both main characters. Like, I mean like a supporting emotional role. I mean for
It's like the water to the fire.
yes. So when he acts that way, yeah, it's fine. I mean, Rizal, it's okay if you don't if you don't like try to like moan and cry like hell in the second movie. It's okay for you to be just like a very good friend with a more clearer way of seeing things like normal people in contrast to your partner Kai. It's okay for you to be that. And when you do act like that, it works. And it's a good acting from you. So it's okay, Zizan. You can perfect your craft, but know where you are applying it to. So it's fine.
The
I
way
think
I see it, like the actor can always like become better and better. I mean that there's even like a movie or like is it, I don't know if it's Hamlet or something. Like it was kind of one of those Shakespearean kind of movie. And it stars Leonardo DiCaprio. He's really terrible in that movie. And okay, we all know it gets better over time, right?
Romeo and Juliet, is it?
No. Is it that movie? I don't know. I think it's
Romeo
another.
plus Juliet, I think. I think it's that.
I don't know. I think there's even another
Oh, there's
movie.
another movie.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's
Oh
terrible in
god.
that one. If you can find it, you can find it.
If you want to.
Go nuts. I don't care. But the thing is, we know he's up there, right? Like he finally won his Oscar at one point, so people can't meme on it anymore. I love that meme game, man. Put the meme game here, Kwan.
Right. No
Alright.
problem.
So yeah, so even a talented actor like that can get to a certain point. But to me, the fault lies on like the writer sometimes, and most of the time is the director. If the director sees that the actor is not ready for a particular role, meaning that even if they can do the role well, and then they have like certain things, certain scenes where the role requires them to do something a little bit different. If they're not ready for that, I think it's better off if they cut it off from the cutting room and put it in the cutting room floor. Because in my opinion, as a director, you should know the strength and weakness of your actors.
Yeah.
Like usually the case when they get child actors. Like, come on, man. As film buffs, we need to ourselves show some kind of compassion when we watch. We can complain a little bit too much, especially when there's like a terrible child actor, because children are not supposed to act.
Yeah. But when
So when they can do a good job, great, good. But if they can't,
it's okay.
it's okay. And it's up to the director to either instruct them well, or if they can't instruct them well, cut off the parts where they look bad.
Yeah.
In order to not make the movie look bad. But at the same time, even if they do look bad, come on, man. Children in real life also talk in that awkward way. Like they don't know how to act.
Yeah.
Because they're not acting. They're just following instruction of adults.
Yeah.
Like I'm not saying Zizan is like a kid. I'm just saying that like an example, an analogy. So in that when he did that like scene where he was saved by Sani and he was cut loose, after he being captured by the terrorists in Polis 2, he's like, there's like a monologue scene. It lasts like 5 minutes or something. Let's close up on Zizan Razak's face, and he has this whole like epiphany kind of like blaming himself kind of scene. And I think that scene is kind of sad, not because I feel his emotional beats, it's because I don't, and I see him trying so hard. And I think the director flopped when he included that scene. They can cut that scene short because these are like a movie. You have to make it 1.5 hour to 2 hours. You cannot make it more, or else you can like sell less slots.
Or unless it's Scorsese or something.
Yeah, that's another thing altogether. Yeah, what I mean is commercially, really, you cannot make the movie too long, as we all know.
And yeah, I just realized Shafiq Yusof has been working with Zizan. So
Yeah,
so he knows what Zizan can do and what Zizan can't do.
yeah.
So he manages Zizan
Yeah,
very well.
that's why because in the second movie it's another director, but now in the third movie he's working with the director he's been working all along with in Balon Fadil.
Ever since Cat Gangster 1, the first Cat Gangster, Yeah, they've been working for a long time, so he knows what's up with Zizan. So yeah, Zizan is okay in this one. Yeah,
Yeah,
good job.
because the director really knows him, you
Yeah,
know. So okay, another thing too. Um yeah, I can agree with what he says kinda when he's doing certain scenes is better rather than this more heavy scenes. I think the way I see it is um like usually we have actors, everyone is vying for attention, like look at me, I can act. But to
yeah,
me, like good acting doesn't only manifest from scenes that are heavy. You
yeah.
can be like a guy standing waiting to take toll money, like, oh, you can't get past here unless you pay the toll, and then you take the money, and then you just keep standing there or something. Like, it does, you can be that unremarkable of a character,
Oh,
but still
yeah.
people who really cares about films can see that is a good actor.
And
You
and you
don't.
could, yeah, alright. And
Okay.
you can also be Mark Anthony in Big Night.
Oh god,
That
yeah.
was very good. He doesn't say a word, but his acting speaks.
Yeah, if you don't mind, Anthony is the guy who say, I need to know. I need, okay, that guy.
Oh yeah,
So
and J Lo's ex. Yeah, if
yeah,
for your information. Yeah.
if you want a good song from him that we actually enjoy, listen to Amada Latina. Oh my god, that song slaps.
That sounds
Even
like
Pitbull is good on that song.
yes.
Okay,
Alright,
never
alright.
that's the point. So the thing is, Mark Anthony is a singer.
Most yeah, he's most famous
Yes.
as a singer, yeah.
And then he got a role which is kind of like
He's a waiter, right? In
like
the
he's a waiter in a movie called Big Night. So the story is about like two brothers that try to bring the traditional
of
cooking style from
in
Italy
yeah,
all the
to the
way
States.
to New York, I think.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken. New York or New Jersey, I don't remember. But Mark Anthony is one of like an Italian and actual true bred Italian that comes from Italy that works with them. And he's like a character that kind of console the brothers in a way. But he don't speak much at all.
Yeah.
And he really shines in there. I mean, like,
For the little scene that he has, he shines.
yeah. And
Damn.
he says nothing. And it really works. You know? Just like Stars, Harry Stars. Harry Stars in Dunkirk.
Oh yeah.
And we know Dunkirk is an event driven movie, not a character driven movie.
Yes.
He didn't have like a character like arc, you know. But
Yes.
he does have his character moments, and he works well. In fact, he got that role fair and square, selected from the audition room.
Yeah.
Christopher Nolan don't know that he was part of One Direction. He doesn't know that. He
Uh,
got the role. He goes through the audition room just like everybody else, and he got it. You
so
know.
yeah. So that's about Zizan, and now your favorite character in this one, the MVP.
Oh god.
No, okay, a character that he likes. Go ahead.
Okay, sorry, because I have kind of short-term memory. I don't remember the name of the actor. Is it Sharnaaz?
Yeah,
Oh, okay, okay.
Sharnaaz Ahmad, and his character is Reza,
Oh, yeah, Reza,
which
Reza.
is like to use this in the context of the movie, an old flame to Khai of old flame. Get it? Get it?
Oh.
You see the movie, you know what I mean. Old flame. Right? Go ahead.
Alright,
Talk about him.
so, uh, yeah, this is a really good one. It's really like a really awesome villain right there. Like, he's kind of like scary because for one, he is burnt all of like or at least half of his body. So we can kind of assume that some of the suit and some of the, what do you call it, thing, flame got to his vocal cord, so he have this
Growly
really
voice.
growly voice. Yeah, he's kind of struggling to speak a bit. And yeah, he loves doing that voice,
He
and he's really
choose
good at
the
it.
scenes.
And he is really angry all the time,
Yes.
you know. And I think it works because of the background of the character. Um, I don't want to spoil like what he is to Kai, but he has a very like deep history
Yeah.
with him, and therefore um when it is one thing when Zizan and Shaheizy worked through 3 movies and got chemistry. Yeah, they do got it since the beginning scene. Meaning that I don't know, they work on it before that because they're not like a comedic duo before this. So it's kind of like surprising. But over time they got even better
Yeah.
in the third movie. And in Sharnaaz, he's only the first time a villain in this movie, in this entire series, in this trilogy. So it's kind of impressive how he feels like he really
It's part of the
a
universe.
part of the life of Khai all along.
Yeah.
It really feels natural. It's like they call it either G, G, like
Maybe for gangster, I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, they call each other G. So in case if you're wondering, in the subtitle is gonna say their names instead of G.
But they
The-
say G.
Yes,
spoke
because
there as
that's
G.
the rule, or when you write a consistent subtitle, you should know, right?
Yeah, of course.
It was in the subtitle industry.
I am still.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Right.
So they call each other G, and it feels very like, yeah, nobody would call each other like a certain name like that, and the way they say it, they really are friends.
It
You know?
does feel like they go way back. Yeah.
Yeah, it really feels like that. And the thing is, the I'm not gonna, tell everything that comes towards the third act, whatever. But the third act is like, an antithesis to the beam in the sky, which I quite enjoy.
Yeah.
Some people would think that if you did Polis Evo 2 and there's like a terrorist attack, like a bunch of them in an island, the next one's gonna be bigger and bigger. I don't think that should be the case.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
in
yeah.
my opinion, just because you're the later installment doesn't mean you need to make things bigger and bigger. You just have to make things different. Look at the Fast and Furious thing. The
Franchise.
first franchise. They do different things, and I see them in I binge watch, before Hobbs and Shaw, and yeah, I can see that things don't elevate better. It's just that they make things different. Like for example, the first one is all about drag racing, which is kind of boring, and then they have Tokyo Drift. Tokyo Drift, to a lot of people, it's a cult classic, and I one of them.
His even Christopher Nolan likes Tokyo Drift. You know that?
Oh, I didn't know that. Because it's like it does the drift thing, and then you say Fast Five or something when they start to change it to action, and then ever since then, even the action they have different action all the time. Heck, Mission Impossible also have that. Like nothing in Mission Impossible 6 that we haven't seen before. To be really honest, at least for me, I don't remember exactly the things, but I've seen
The beats are very familiar.
not just the beats, some of the the climbing that Tom Cruise does in that thing
Yeah.
is like I've seen that before.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's exactly like that or you see the same thing that I did. But um it's just like even if he didn't do exactly the same stunts, I can kind of see him do those stunts in different way of storytelling. So to me, the execution is more important than the theme. Sometimes we're gonna say this see the same thing over and over again, but then the execution, the storyboard, exactly the movement, that's how you vary it and you make it fun.
Yeah.
And in Polis Evo 3, I like the way they handle the third act because here's the thing. Back then in YouTube, there are a bunch of prank channels. At first, they do a bunch of fun pranks, but as time goes by, they start to harass people, and they harass people that so much they got into trouble that they start to script their pranks, and they all become fake. And if they're not fake, some people make it bigger and bigger up to one point. There's like a couple which the woman shoots the guy with the revolver and the guy is like protecting his front of his chest using a phone book. You know, yeah, that is supposed to be the prank, I guess. I don't know. It's supposed to be the girlfriend shooting the guy with the revolver to the book, and it's supposed to act like some sort of like
Protection.
a protection, like as if you're wearing a vest, you know, to see if it works, which is weird. They didn't test it on like a dummy first, so as you expect, the guy died. So what the point of me telling this is because when you try too hard to elevate the scale and the scope of the
Storytelling.
not just the story,
The stakes.
the stakes, yes, the stakes.
Yeah.
You make the event bigger and bigger just for the sake of it. At one point, you're gonna reach a plateau and you push too far, it's gonna be like an Armageddon. It's gonna be a disaster. It's gonna be tumultuous.
So yeah, so them doing it personal this time. Like the first one was community-based threat. The second one was like terrorism, which is like
Kind of like international
international
waters.
level, and then this time it's very personal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all
And to
different.
me, in a way,
Yeah.
because of the personal weight, you know, the emotional weight that Kai has to go through in this movie, I think that in of itself is even heavier a burden compared to even the last movie with a bunch of terrorists on an island.
Yeah.
And even when there's like a car chase scene, like you can see in the opening, and what happens to the car, and then even like later on there's another scene where that involves the captain and the main villain. The car rolls around and flips, and it looks really good, like Hollywood level.
And he doesn't do the repeating shot of that
Yeah.
thing getting wrecked. Good job, Shafiq.
Yeah, like in the first movie, I love the first movie, but Gus decided to make the
That kind of shot.
yeah. Sorry that sorry to fellow Malaysians that we kind of compare a little bit too much this movie to the Hollywood and maybe other areas filmmaking industry all over the world. Simply the reason why we do that is because for a long time now we've been trying to make the Malaysian version of this, the
Yeah,
Malaysian
yeah.
version of that. And I think there have been moves to make it so that you know, this is just like this is our movie and it doesn't have to be the Malaysian version or whatever. Like Songlap is a good one, also starring Shaheizy. He plays a different role in that one, so
Very different role, yeah.
you know, keep your expectations, you know, in check. And in this movie, it's like, yeah, what was I talking about again?
Um,
Alright,
yeah.
okay. I think I made my point. So yeah, leave it at that because I forgot for a bit. Again, I have short-term memory
All right.
loss.
I think it's time to plug it in.
Wait.
Oh,
I just remembered like one point. There's something that the criminals do early on in the movie
uh-huh.
regarding phones, which doesn't make any goddamn sense. And to anyone, especially people who have watched The Wire before, you know what I'm talking about. That's not how that thing works. Hey, even if you watch you know, Better Call Saul, I don't want to repeat this point because I said it in another place that you might want to see after this. But yeah, that is like
Not how
it's
it
just
works.
baffling.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what?
Okay, I mean, I don't watch enough of those things. I only watch Better Call Saul. I didn't watch The Wire, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. It looks fine to me, but I guess if you really wrong, it looks wrong to you, then I guess it is.
I can tell you after this when we turn off the camera.
All right, so yeah. All right, let's plug it in. Shafiq, you did a good job explaining yourself, and it's refreshing to see you direct another person's script this
Oh god, I
time.
thought you were talking about me.
Shafiq Yusof, okay? I know
Alright.
that's your full name, okay? Alright, that's your actual name, alright. So to plug this in, you did a good job for this one, Shafiq Yusof. So I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. Yes.
Yeah, it's the cleanest. I think this is the cleanest possible. Like, if to me, this is a must watch for Police Evo fans, because watch the first one and the second one. Why not watch the third one?
Yeah.
And again, this is not like a bad third movie. It's another good one, another banger.
Yeah.
So there's no reason for you not to watch it if you're a fan. Even like a casual action fan
Who doesn't even watch
maybe
the
like
first two?
you're done watching John Wick Chapter 4, and maybe you want to watch another movie and you watch Extraction, right? And then maybe you want another one, watch like The Green Man, and then now you watch this one.
Yeah,
I guess it's fine as that too. Yeah, it's the cleanest out of
Yes.
them all. Meaning that some might disagree with it being the best, but to me, because it's the cleanest, it is the best. So I'm gonna give it a solid 8. And the 8 is because it is like really satisfying. It's really good, but it still has its flaws.
So there you go. Our review. I think maybe by the time this review is released, it's not out yet. But when it's out, if you saw it, tell us what do you think about it.
Yeah.
And if have you watched the previous movies, or what's your favorite buddy cop movie, local or international? Otherwise, let us know.
Yeah.
So all right.
And you have you have obscure recommendations to us. Like,
Yeah, throw
dude,
it in. Throw it
the
in.
buddy cop formula works, man. It's always good.
So
Oh god, I love
all
it.
right. Hi, post production Iki here. Actually, we did a collab with BuzzPop on Polis Evo 3. So, if you want to see that collaboration, go ahead and click the link over here, maybe later. So, there you go. And don't forget to watch Polis Evo 3 in cinemas starting 25th of May 2023. So, Roger now. Peace out.